Discord, however, did not take the news of the coronation happily. Having his only company be swept into a busy world of politics made him feel even more alone than he already was. Celestia and Luna no longer wished to play as much as they had used to, since they had many new responsibilities. They also wanted to act in a mature manner, so they did not want to play tricks on others with Discord either. Discord was beginning to grow agitated, so he tried to have a little fun by himself at the expense of others. As Celestia and Luna worked, he began to use his chaotic magic to secretly play small tricks on the royal guard and other ponies who visited the castle. Gradually, his pranks grew more and more mean-spirited and daring, until one day, when an important griffin leader visited the castle, Discord turned himself invisible and used his magic to turn the griffin into a large chicken, as the leader was talking to the princesses. Naturally, the griffin was outraged, and Celestia and Luna apologized profusely, completely embarrassed as they attempted to use their magic to change him back. Unfortunately, none of the spells they tried worked, except the one that allowed the griffin to speak again. It was then that Discord burst out laughing, not bothering to keep himself invisible anymore. The royal guards, upon seeing a Draconicus, attempted to subdue him, but Discord promptly turned them into various harmless rodents, such as mice and squirrels with large fluffy tails. Enraged, the princesses told Discord to immediately turn everyone back to normal, but he just roared with laughter as the oversized griffin chicken tried fruitlessly to fly up and peck him. Eventually, Discord turned both the griffin and the guards back to normal, turning himself invisible once again and performing a memory spell on them to make them forget what had happened. The spell did not work on Celestia and Luna, though, and both of the princesses excused themselves from the room. They talked with Discord, chastising him greatly, and telling him what he had done could have damaged relations with the griffins long term. They told him not to play tricks anymore, since they could potentially get so reckless that ponies could be seriously hurt. Discord grew angry. He explained that the princesses never wanted to have fun anymore, that they were much too serious. Weeks passed, and Discord was becoming even more bored and agitated. His tricks were starting to become dangerous, just as the princesses had predicted. One time, he terrified a bunch of school fillies when they went to the Canterlot Museum, animating one of the dragon skeletons to roar and chase after them. Another time, he temporarily took away the horns, wings, and earth pony strength of all the royal guards, rendering them fumbling to defend themselves as they were attacked by a rain of Discord-induced paintballs. Dripping with paint, the royal guards reported what had happened to them to the princesses, who immediately knew who had caused it. The sisters sought out Discord and confronted him. "You need to stop," they told him. "What you are doing is not right. You are hurting these ponies, and if you keep going with your horrid tricks, worse things may happen." "What about me?" Discord replied with a sneer. "I've been ignored and hidden for too many years, shut in like a prisoner. You have no right to do that to me." It was then that the Draconicus realized something. Old memories bubbled up to the surface about the war and of his parents. It was as if his destiny was calling him, beckoning him over the edge. His mind began to twist in a horrid direction. He remembered that he was the embodiment of chaos. He was the embodiment of chaos, just as his parents had told him so very long ago. And with that, Discord snapped. The rational part of his mind was slipping away, being replaced with all sorts of chaotic thoughts. His destiny was being fulfilled, a destiny he had wanted to avoid ever since he had first met the two princesses as a very young creature. The embodiment of chaos gave a harsh, long laugh. He could feel his powers growing within him. It was as if his parents were there beside him, whispering into his ears what he was meant to do. Perhaps they were. Celestia and Luna were shocked at what they were seeing. Before their very eyes, one of their longtime friends was becoming a monster. "Discord!" Celestia cried. "Stop, please!" But Discord had had enough. "You were never really my friends," he said. "You just wanted to keep me subdued so I wouldn't become a chaos bringer, just like the ones who murdered your parents. All my brethren wanted was a little fun, but your alicorns had to go and ruin everything. That's why the war even happened. Well now, I guess I should finish the job then. take over Equestrian, just like my parents had always wanted to. Let's get started,
This is Minty. Sorry for the delay, but here's your video. Done.
shall we? Discord let out another of his cruel laughs and flew high above Canterlot, using his magic to spread chaos throughout the land. Clouds spewed chocolate milk onto the ponies below, covering them in sticky wetness, while grassy tornadoes ripped the roofing off of houses. All of the squirrels, rabbits, and beavers became large rabid brutes. Windows and glasses were turned into liquid, and the gravity in some areas became non-existent. His magic affected the ponies themselves, too. Earth ponies found their hooves turned into rubber, making them bounce all over the place. The wings of the Pegasi were changed to those of insects, and made very small, barely enough to lift the ponies off of the ground. They also inexplicably found themselves able to breathe fire. Unicorn horns were transformed into the horns of various animals, and they could only perform one spell. For some unicorns, all they could do was change things into flowers. Others could only cover things in paint, etc. Celestia and Luna were horrified. Crying out for Discord to stop, they flew up to him, ready to fight him to save Equestria, only to have him use his magic to take away their horns, wings, and earth pony strength. They fell to the earth. Discord only laughed. He was having such fun. Why hadn't he done this long ago? Weakened and battered, the princesses felt hopeless. The land they had sworn to protect was falling apart around them, and it seemed only they were to blame. But a glimmer of hope shone in the darkness. The girls remembered the elements of harmony, which had been scarcely used for many years because of the era of peace that had come when the sisters had risen to power. They shakily rose to their hooves, the sounds of their subjects' cries echoing in their ears. They had to get to the elements. Racing through Canterlot Castle, the girls faced many obstacles thrown in their way by Discord's powers. But together, they managed to overcome them, and they found the elements of harmony within the bowels of the castle, where they were kept safe with the other treasures of the land. Donning the elements, the girls rushed up to the highest balcony of the castle. Discord paid hardly any attention to them. After all, without their magic, flight, and strength, what kind of a threat were they? The girls reached deep within themselves and thought of all the times they had used their friendship to benefit each other and their subjects, when they had used it to solve problems and fix political affairs with other species. Friendship had been a big part of their lives, and they would not let Discord destroy their pony friends. The elements of harmony activated, and Discord was bombarded with the pure magic of friendship. As he gave one last laugh, his body was encrusted with stone. "You can't stop a force of nature. I will return, Celestia and Luna," was the last thing he said, his voice echoing through the ears of the princesses. A statue stood before them, glistening in the sunlight. Once their beloved companion, Discord was now a prisoner in stone. Celestia began to cry. Luna comforted her. Slowly, the land of Equestria changed back to its normal self. Earth pony hooves were no longer rubber, Pegasus wings were their feathered selves, and unicorn horns could perform their normal set of spells, and were back to their comb-like shape. Celestia and Luna gained back their wings, horns, and earth pony strength. They also gained something new, ethereal manes like those of their parents. The manes represented the height of their powers, a visual representation of the essence of who they were, and their inner magic. The only remnant of Discord's horrid rule was one of his most prized creations, Poison Joke, as well as the memory of him dwelling within the minds of the ponies he had terrorized. Discord was kept in the Canterlot Gardens, where the princesses thought he would be the safest. He would be under constant watch there, and no pony would suspect who he really was, side by side with the other statues. Sometime, but for now, Celestia and Luna had a different job to do.